What's up, AfterBuzzers? Welcome back to another Casual Tuesday, and this week we're celebrating Val's birthday. You don't want to miss it, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Great song selection.
Right?
Yeah,
I don't
so
think she ever
fitting.
cried, though, did she?
She was on the verge.
She was on the verge.
But
Yeah.
she did not. Props to her, because I think I would have cried.
Yeah,
know.
not the party I would want to walk into.
No.
What an awkward party.
Oh, yeah. We'll get into the party, the awkward party.
Oh, Alex.
But we are back with Casual Season 2, Episode 12. We only have one more episode left. This one was called 40 for Val's birthday. Thanks for joining us again. I am your host, Abby Vega. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at _Abby Vega. Where can they find you?
Good evening, guys. This is Zach Kelch, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Zach Kelch, ZachKelch.
Hey guys, I'm Renee Ariel, and you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Renee Ariel.
All right, guys, let's dive in where last episode left off.
Did you, because I was not here last week, did you guys assume that Val and the hubby were getting back together
We
based
did
on how
called.
it ended?
We did not
I mean,
assume
Quinn
that...
had been predicting that since like the first episode.
We didn't assume.
Yeah.
I did not even think for a second like get back together. But
Me
we
neither.
straight up said that this episode was gonna start with them in bed together.
Yeah, we-
I mean, that's okay. I was with you on that.
But
Yeah.
what did you guys think? I honestly was a little surprised when they started talking as if like it had been happening like over and over.
Well, I think the way they edited it is to make it assume that now it had become habitual.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a one-night thing. So I think that waking up in bed together was actually now probably a few days later, and it had happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
multiple
was a little
times.
surprised by that. That's what I was saying.
Me
I
too.
thought it was just gonna maybe be a one
Right.
night thing. So that's why when they started talking about that, I was like, whoa, so
Right.
they're doing this.
Yeah, well, I don't even think she wanted to be doing this. I think how the episode ended, she just realized that everyone she knew and was friends with in this whole life she created for herself wasn't going too well. And in her friend group, they're all sleeping with each other. And she's like, okay, I'm going to go back to what's familiar to me. And that's why she went back to Drew. I don't think that was going to happen if things worked out differently.
Well, and I also think that through as like fumbling as this whole this season has been for her, she kind of has, it's a little Stella got her groove back kind of a thing where her sleeping around has kind of given her a new confidence. And I think her relationship with Drew in the past, she was insecure with him, but now that she has this kind of new sexual like prowess about her, she was like, okay, I can do this and I'm gonna feel good about doing it.
Yeah, that's what was interesting is so obviously it's Val's birthday and she gets a call from Drew while she's at work and he wants to go to lunch and they go to Chili's, and I thought it was funny how much she just loves Chili's.
I mean,
I
on
know.
my birthday, I just want to eat nothing but like terrible food.
Same,
for
but I don't
you.
think I've ever been to Chili's, so I just thought it was very
Really?
random.
Oh,
but it was
it's
funny.
good.
Not a huge
But-
Chili's fan.
But
Just
speaking
get like 7 appetizers. And call
all
it
about
a-
the apps.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something you said stuck out to me. I wrote down a quote or something. He said he like mentions
seem
how
different.
you seem different, you know, adventurous.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I feel like what we've been saying this whole season is that Val finally has this new like confidence without being that condescending that she usually was.
Right.
yeah, like
Well,
we
'cause
started liking her,
Yeah.
which was
Right.
weird.
Well, because before she was like so much about her was like so uptight and she was so cerebral and analytical of everyone and in her job and confident in her job that it made her kind of a cold bitch. And so
Yeah.
now she's she's let the reins loose a little bit, had a little fun, and I think she's enjoying life at 40 more than she was before.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the line when Drew goes, "Have I changed?" And she's like, "You're like the sex of Chili's."
Yep,
Like it wasn't like meant to be bad, but it was funny. And,
it was funny.
Right.
And then so obviously that ends up with them going back to Drew's place.
But plot twist was him like then being
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I
What
made
did-
a mistake.
Yes.
Oh, I
was-
saw that coming.
You did.
Really?
Yes, because this is how the tables turn. First of all, he's just a cheater all on his own.
Yeah.
He
Clearly.
can't
Once a
admit his
cheater, always a
issues.
cheater.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now that he got bored with his new fling, he's going back to the old one because let's be real, he's not gonna get anyone else because he's a loser. But my point is, I saw that this happening because Val's so carefree, clearly wasn't like looking to be
Yeah.
like, let's get back together. So obviously you want what you can't have, and when you feel like someone might be emotionally unavailable, you're like, we should get back together.
That is very
true.
That is true.
Yeah.
I liked her reaction. Is he said it and all she did, she like stood up, she like put her pants on.
Yeah.
She's like, no,
Loved it.
you can't do this. And I mean, obviously at the end of the episode where it's kind of up in the air with what's going on, and we'll talk about it. But I was proud of Val in this moment to be kind of stand her ground. Like, you can't do this to me. No.
Yeah.
Because screw Drew.
Yeah, screw Drew. Hashtag.
Yeah, she was like, you took it too far, so now it's done. And I think she did a little, wiped her hands clean and was just gonna leave.
Yeah. Another interesting thing in my mind is because right now I was kind of like Team Val, like whatever, do what you're doing. But at the same time, it's kind of that question of, you know what this felt like when someone did it to you, and even though like he was yours first and like this girl did it to you first, it was kind of messed up still that she did it.
Absolutely. I mean, it spawned from the conversation of him discussing, I don't even remember her name because she's never actually a character.
It's like a weird like Mui Ying or something.
Yeah.
But
that
whatever.
she was at the fertility clinic. Like, he is actively trying to get another woman pregnant and you're entering. And so there's a lot of complicated feelings with that for me. Yeah.
Okay, listen, I don't think two wrongs make a right. However, this woman was her other woman, like in her scenario. Sure. She was pissed. She was hurt. This woman knew he was married to Val, completely screwed Val over. They were married. I'd be pissed. And I honestly would kind of think it's funny. Then, like, oh, taste your own medicine. Like, it's not good. You should not sleep with other people's husbands. Two wrongs don't make a right. But, like, I mean, honestly, she got to taste her own medicine.
Another thing in my mind, too, though, is kind of like, a little part of me, I knew it was going to happen after the last couple episodes. I knew they were going to end up hooking up. But in my mind, a little, I wanted to be like, Val, he wants you now. Just don't even let him have any of you.
Right.
Don't let him even get back in there a little bit to have any sort of emotional control or any, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I knew it was going to happen, but I kind of wish that she maybe would have just like
completely rejected him.
Yeah.
That's keeping the upper hand. Once you let them in, you lose the upper hand, you lose the game.
Exactly. Because, well, I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to talk about this. Let's just talk about that last scene just real quick, and then we'll talk about the party as a whole. But it ends, since we're talking about Drew and Val, it ends with
she storms out
she
of the party.
storms out and says, I'm going home. I'm going back to Drew. So in my head, it's making me a little nervous in the sense of that she gave him an inch, because now I'm scared that she's going to be emotionally whatever, and now that she wants it, he's going to go right back to his younger woman and go back to getting...
I don't know.
You don't know? What do you think?
This show worries me because we can never really truly predict what these characters are going to do.
Like, they've done the complete opposite of four of my predictions.
And it's so realistic. And here's the thing, with it being so realistic, people get back together with people they shouldn't, and then they don't work out again. And it worries me because we don't know what's going to happen. Perhaps Val and Drew will try again, and the bad cycle will continue, and it's going to get repetitive because things are going great, now things aren't going great, then things kind of go okay, and then they're not okay. So it worries me she's going to get back into this terrible cycle.
And what does this look like for Laura? What do you think Laura's reaction? I don't think it'll be a positive one.
I think knowing Laura, I'm going to assume she's going to have a snarky, sarcastic comment, roll her eyes, and pretty much not even have a conversation about it, and kind of probably just walk out.
Yeah, I kind of get that too. She doesn't care. Like, she
cares, not gonna believe
but
it.
She doesn't.
She's like with her parents. I feel like she's like I'll believe it when I see it kind of a thing. So be like, I'll talk to you in a year when we're living happily in a home together or something. Like, I don't think she'll take too kindly to that conversation.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to how that's gonna all play out. But speaking of Laura, let's dive into her this episode with Spencer.
Heavy stew.
What?
I was so thrown off. I thought he was gonna die today.
Same.
Yeah, I was waiting.
I thought
for
the
it.
phone call, which I think we had discussed a few episodes ago, like they're gonna get the phone call.
It's not gonna be him. It's gonna be his parents being like, he's in the hospital, and then a few hours.
It's gonna make all the adults snap into it. Nope, not the case.
Nope. No. This show, we never know. We never know what's gonna happen.
Interesting, and because we had Renzi here last week, and he kind of said that he wanted to do last week's episode, which makes sense because it was heavily on him and Laura last week.
And he picked it strategically.
But
I was honestly, like, he's dead.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. We assumed that he was going to be dead, but that's not the case. So we see Wait, how did that? Oh, okay. So they go for tattoos. They go for the Russian roulette of tattoo
Which
roulette.
I gotta be honest, I've seen there have been some that's a done thing in movie and TVs before. I was not a fan of either that tattoos they picked for each other.
So random.
No.
I kind of like the
That's
emojis
like
a
those are
little
like
bit.
tattoos I pick for people I don't like.
Right.
I'm like, here, take these emojis.
Right, but like even if I'm gonna do something that's trying cute, like a stapler for Staples Center, like that I don't even know. Then I would do like the longitudinal coordinates of Staples Center, so
Yeah.
it's like a cute little like.
But I feel
Even like
numbers,
a small like
like-
outline of a stapler, like something just like that was like a
Not a
big
giant
ugly
red ass
stapler.
That's, I feel
It's
like
a
that's
fire
like,
truck of staplers.
that's like so like Laura though. I don't think she's gonna get anything like
She
too
also thought
emotional.
he's gonna die. She's like, doesn't matter what I put on you. You're dead
I
in a few
know.
weeks.
That's true.
So speaking of that,
So they go-
so they did that and
Casket shopping
And-
also.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
that. So then after they get the tattoos, Laura's like, hey, can you take me to lunch? Whatever. No, he has to go to the doctor. When I heard doctor, I
He's
just
dead.
think
Right.
bad.
Gone.
So when she
Casual
gets a
writers
call,
tricking us.
they are tricky. Props to the writers on this because I did not
Yeah.
see this storyline coming. She gets a call. I thought it was going to be maybe his parents. I didn't think it was
Yeah.
going to be him.
Same.
And when he said that the treatment's been working and his tumor is getting smaller,
right. So
Yeah.
like so he's gonna be okay, right?
Is he though? Maybe he'll still
no,
die.
because to say like if to be like I'm all clear would be like I'm in remission. Like
Yeah.
that,
No,
so
yeah.
that it's getting smaller just means that it's shrinking, but he still has cancer in him. So it's like.
But it means he could live. That's a possibility.
Possibility.
However, when she
So
heard
it's just
that,
like the immediate
yeah.
timeline is no longer there. Basically, it
So-
could be years now instead of the like couple months that
Yeah.
I had left.
And so she goes over there to see him, and I thought it was a very sweet moment. I was like, oh my gosh, Laura, she's gonna have this actual relationship with this kid. I love
but
Spencer.
it was genuine and sweet in
was.
the beginning.
It was.
Yep.
And then
And then he starts,
just that cold cuddling afterwards
Sounded
when
like
the
commitment.
truth gets revealed.
and she was like, "Oh no, do you really like me? And this could last. Oh my gosh, the possibilities." And you just see her like,
I hated
shut
this.
down.
There was like
Me
they
too.
pulled out with the camera and you just see her like staring
Yeah.
ahead and she's just like, oh, so this is no longer stopping anytime.
I think she's
hated
gonna
it
ghost
so
him.
much. I am very nervous for Spencer, and I love his character.
Me too.
He seems like such a genuine, like, good guy.
I don't know.
Things are working out for him
don't
now.
know if we're gonna see. I don't know if we're gonna see much of like a much more development with them in one more episode though. I feel like
know.
I don't think this is something that's like gonna make her blow up at him and be like, "What are we doing?" and that be a thing. I think.
I
if
think she's
anything,
gonna avoid him.
I don't think there'll
But
be
I
a
don't-
conclusion this season.
Yeah, I don't
at
think-
all.
I-
I think
yeah.
he'll be in season 3, and we'll maybe find, I hope, because like you said, like their relationship at this point has been very heavy, you know, because of everything they've been dealing with, and so I think it would be weird if it could be concluded with one more episode.
Yeah.
What if? What if this makes her freak out, but she thinks she has time, she stops talking, and he keeps trying to talk to her, and then when she finally gets a hold of whoever, he is dead.
Oh.
Ooh,
That's like totally like a movie thing.
Yeah, I'd
I
love
could
to see
see
that.
that.
I would watch that movie.
That sounds really
Maybe
sad.
love
maybe
crying.
that's why. I mean, if you really want to get like dumb analytical here, maybe that's why they use the words like "my tumor's shrinking," like because
Right?
because that's not.
Remission.
Yeah, it's not really in the clear.
To get her out of, she's going, I'm telling you, she'll probably start ghosting him, and then that call she gets eventually when she finally gets, I bet that's how it'll end. They'll be like,
He'll die,
he
and
passed.
she'll have been like a
She's like-
a stone cold
Yeah.
biatch to him for the end.
Yeah, I totally see that happening.
I can totally see that, and that would devastate her. And maybe that's finally what we'll get Alex and Val, because we need something to get them like right in the head.
Their
Well,
whole
now
thing.
with them, I mean this. Well, how do you want to proceed talking about this?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
I don't
well-
even.
Let's talk about the party, and let's just
Yes.
talk about Alex, because Alex is so self-absorbed
Oh my
without even
gosh.
realizing it.
No.
It kind of blows my mind. It's entertaining, but like he doesn't even know.
But it's narcissism because it gets to the point of, in his mind, he's doing a selfless thing.
Yes.
Which in reality is just absolutely bonkers, and to anyone else that it's just like, do you disagree?
That conversation.
That party planning, like there's no world that you would plan a party with like multiple people that your sister has slept with, and also like a friend who she's kind of on the outs with, and be like, this seems like a fun bunch.
Yeah, I think he subconsciously did it just to kind of piss her off and to create a problem so they'll talk again. I don't think he did it to help. I don't think he did it to help her. Even that conversation with Jack, I feel like he just wanted to get Val to talk to him, even though they didn't really talk at all. Because Jack said, we haven't talked in weeks, and he's like, yeah, no worries, come on over. That was like weird.
See,
I don't know.
I took it as him
Yeah.
genuinely thinking like, this is gonna be awesome. But he's an idiot.
Because the thing
and
is,
doesn't realize
because
it.
the thing is, now that he's been talking to Jennifer, and Jennifer is saying like all he's hearing is that he needs to reconcile with Val, so he just has it in his brain that he has to do something that's good for Val, and this is where he went, even though it just.
I could see that.
And I thought the line was hilarious too. Well, there was a couple. He's like, "Fuck, why doesn't she want my egg sandwich?" And it's like, so he gets so concerned about these tiny little things like that.
I genuinely almost went to get waffles after that scene. I almost
so
paused
good.
it and went, because I was like, that was a nice ass stack of waffles.
It's about time he's back behind the waffle iron.
Oh, yeah,
but then
for
another
sure.
line was when Alex straight up asked Lord, "Oh, you think she wants a surprise party?" And she's like, "No, I don't think she wants a surprise party." But he goes ahead and does it anyway. And like you said, he goes and asks Jennifer. He asks Jack. Right when I saw him and Jack talk, I go, "They're gonna become friends." Because what was their first interaction?
They hadn't until then. I really don't think
on
they
the phone.
had.
It was on the phone. Okay,
yeah,
on the phone. Once they started talking, in my head, I go, they're gonna totally become friends or something weird.
Because I mean, the thing is, like, Alex is the one who found out first that Jennifer and Jack had dated. So like, immediately you should be like, then why would you invite both of them to this party?
I think he was honestly just trying to get bodies. Like anyone that Val knows, because Val really doesn't have friends.
Can I just say, I love the way they handled the whole Jack thing, the writers, because I love that when we see Jack and Val together, like back when they worked together, we almost want to believe him, even though we know all of these things, saying like he's a player, whatever, and then that conversation he had with her pretty much just went to prove that he was just this player that's emotionally unavailable, like just hops around, isn't ready to settle down. I love that the whole time though we did kind of believe that he was a good guy, and then this episode everything kind of blew up.
See, I still don't have that bad of things with Jack.
He's not a bad guy, but he for sure didn't think him and Val were some serious thing. And even at the dinner table, it's like, yeah, we all that friend group, we all sleep together. That is so not what you want to hear from someone you like actually want to be with.
Right.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to hear that. But I think Jack, I think he means well. I don't think he's like...
I think he means well, but like him and Val, no. No.
I think that's the end of that.
No, because I mean, I think Val is ultimately like looking for more of a commitment and stability at this point, and Jack just, do we even know what he does, why he travels the way he does?
No.
So but basically he's never even in the city for long enough to be really in a relationship with him anyway. So
yeah. What did you guys also think of like that in that conversation that Alex and Jack had? That was like a deep conversation for Alex to just have with like this guy. When they're like barbecuing.
When Alex like kind of asked him to leave after he had talked to Val?
No. Like this is when they came up with their little Spotify idea.
Oh, right.
Do you think that that's gonna be a thing?
I think they could be.
I think they could leave it open ended to be like, oh, maybe Alex will have an actual like successful business venture to look forward to next season.
Yeah, because they mentioned again at dinner.
Right.
And so I'm wondering.
Well, and that's what instigates Val to be like, I'm piecing out, because like all of a sudden there are these 4 consecutive dominoes of people saying things that all of a sudden how Alex now knows and is interlocked with all these people, and Val had no idea, and it's just too much for her, and she's just like, what just happened?
Yeah, because I thought it was kind of weird. I don't know what Jennifer's deal is. I kind of have like mixed vibes about her. Like, to me, I thought it was weird that she was saying stuff like that. I felt like she almost wanted Val to know.
See, I kind of said this. I think I said this in the beginning when she was being very negative about Jack. I think maybe they dated, and she's like salty about it. And now looking back on it and that being confirmed, and then now the way she's still treating Alex, even though yes, she's giving Alex a lot of pushback, being like, you can't just walk into my office like this, ultimately she's still entertaining the idea of being his therapist, and has essentially had some sessions with him, and not let Val know when Val is supposed to be your close friend, I think is really messed up. And I think it's a little, I don't want to say vindictive, I think that's a little strong, but it's not a great friend move on her part to keep Val in the dark, and then to throw out at Val's birthday dinner and be like, oh, well, your flaws aren't flaws. I know. Like,
yeah, I thought it was weird, and I thought that was, and definitely with her knowing kind of what's going on between Alex and Val at this moment, I thought it was kind of like a dig almost, you know. I think
it's a little mean girly.
Yeah, it's like, I know about your brother. Like, we're kind of having talks now, and I know you two aren't really talking. So I don't know. I can't tell, because sometimes I'm like, wait, she genuinely is trying to give Alex good advice, how to like fix things with Val. But with that comment, I totally got that vibe from her.
I don't know. For me, I didn't get too much of a bad vibe as much as it just kind of showed where everyone's relationship was at the moment. Like, Jennifer really is not that close to Val. Alex and Val clearly aren't talking because they don't know anything. Jack and Val did not have a serious, like, we're finding out all of these kind of bombshells because I think we thought Jack and Val had something at one point. We thought Val and Jennifer were going to be friends, and at this point you're like, oh, she's not really close to anyone at the table. But I didn't see it as like a bit, I don't think it says anything about Jennifer's character or anything. It's just kind of like awkward, and things are just kind of happening and being laid out in front of you. I don't think she was like trying to be like, well, he's seeing me for therapy. Like, she didn't want to see him for therapy, but it's kind of a joke, like, you just pass along. And just, it was so awkward for Val, and I think that's what they were like trying to show us, is how awkward these relationships are at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting too, because as this season kind of was going on, things were looking really good for Val. I think of all characters, because she had a new friend at one point. She was dating. She's you know what I mean? And I think it's interesting how they all transferred over to Alex now.
But if I am going to say something, I think truly what this episode did show, though, is that Val is happy as Val for the first time that we've seen her in a while. Like, because she was able to actually just sit there and not blow up at the table and not have like a freak out like she normally was. And she was just like, no, I've actually had fun as on my own lately, and I don't want to have to deal with this, so she's just going to leave. And I think with Drew, and when she was with, why do I keep playing Jack? Like, she has gotten to a place where she's enjoying life now, and it's making her less bitter and cold to everyone else.
I agree with that.
I would believe that more so if her line was like, I'm gonna go, and she wasn't going to go back to Drew, when where we left off was Drew, is he was gonna offer her the comfortability, the familiarity that she wanted. I do believe she's been really happy. I think she needs to give herself more credit that she's fine on her own, but the fact that now she's running back to Drew, I don't know if she fully believes it.
But see, now we don't know how the Drew thing's gonna play
out.
Let's
hope she doesn't make it.
It got a little interrupted by.
But yeah, that was weird, because I was a little.
I'm glad that this came back, because I was very confused
with
the first
ambulance
scene when their father was being brought into their old house.
Yeah, and so this is something that we did not catch up on, because last week when Renzi was here, he said that episode that Alex went to see his dad about the ex-girlfriend, Sarah, as he was leaving, the dad tried to say something to him about going to the hospital for all these tests, and Alex just kind of blew it off and didn't even acknowledge it. So it was kind of foreshadowed,
Typical Alex.
But Alex, of course, didn't even think twice about it. So now it's coming back. So is he coming to get care at Alex's hospice?
I'm assuming it's one of those things when he isn't able to take care of himself, and so in those situations, your next of kin or whatever are responsible for you. If they want to put him in hospice, then they could.
Where's their mom?
That probably on tour with a band. Isn't that what she does?
Yeah, but they were back together or whatever.
Yeah, so I don't, because they got remarried.
Yeah.
So I don't know really what's happening there. But what are you guys' guesses on what's wrong with the dad? Do you think it's something? Do you think he's terminal? What do you think?
I think he probably had heart stuff, and he's an older man. He probably I don't think this is that uncommon. When it just is bizarre, because they don't keep in contact with him enough to even know he had problems in the first place. That's why it's like a blindsided kind of thing.
Yeah, Alex was so close to seeing that he did have problems. As soon as he left, 10 seconds later.
What did they both say when they were we're bringing your father in, and they just both said one word
I had
each?
It.
I
love when Alex goes, lock all the doors, Val.
Yeah.
No, I have it written down because I thought it was funny too.
Really funny.
I think they both just said fuck.
Yeah.
I think they don't fuck, and he's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because, so what's interesting now too is, with that being said, we kind of talked about that maybe Spencer dying would be what kind of gets them all back together. Maybe it's going to be the dad.
Well, okay, now that we've officially gone through the episode, should we just officially like predictions it up because of what we think?
Mine as well. Yeah, let's go into some predictions here.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, who wants to go first?
That was creepy.
I'll go.
Okay.
Okay, so I think I'll go back to the Spencer prediction. I think that Laura is going to ghost him, and then as soon as she finally makes contact with who she'll think it's him, be his parents, and it'll be a death.
Picks up or something.
I also think that I don't think that a death will bring the family together, because I think that what we see with the show is no one really comes together at the season finale and like everything's daisies and rainbows. I think we're just gonna see everything get more complicated, and just because it's so real. This isn't something I want to happen, but I do think that Val is going to get back into this kind of toxic relationship with her ex-husband. Yep. And then it's just not going to go well, obviously, but I do think she's going to seek him for comfort.
Okay.
Okay. Mine, the only thing that I was thinking of, and there was this moment in this episode that kind of foreshadowed it for me, and then with the dad coming at the end, one of the sessions Alex was with Jennifer, he said, like, she was saying, like, why are you two so close the way you are? And he was like, we're children of like terrible parents or whatever. And I feel, and now with the dad coming in at the end, I feel like maybe this season is going to end on a note of the family, as in multiple generations, being back together, and it kind of moving forward to, maybe we finally will break down the children's relationship because of the parents, because now they're going to be all under one roof, like, and forced to be. So I'm thinking that dad is there to stay, or at least through the last episode of the season.
Yeah, I honestly think that the dad being there is what's going to bring Alex and Val kind of back, not necessarily on the best of terms, but that's going to force them to talk, because it's something they have to talk about.
Right.
And I think they do realize that they both are so close because of the relationship they had with their parents and kind of the lack thereof. So I think him being back in the picture, I agree. I think he's going to be there for a while, and I think that's going to force them to kind of face their issues and why they are the way they are, because they kind of blame everything else for it. And Jennifer said one time is like, you guys are taking your anger out in the wrong places. Yeah. In regards to I don't know if Val's going to get back with him.
I don't know.
I don't think it's going to work out.
Is going to throw a wrench into that.
I think so too. I don't know. I think she's smarter than that. I think she might try it for a very brief time, but snap out of it really quick.
Yeah, I'd love that.
And I don't think that, I think Laura is going to start kind of backing away from Spencer, which is going to be interesting. Like I said, I don't think we'll get a conclusion from that relationship.
Yeah, no.
And if we do, that would kind of stink, because I liked that.
It wouldn't be the right payoff.
It wouldn't be. Exactly. Yeah. So that's what we got. We only have one episode left. I'm like really curious to how they're going to leave it off. Right. Because I feel like there's so many loose ends that need to be tied up, and there's no way they're all going to get tied up. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's going to be kind of a cliffhanger ending with just tons of issues out on the table. And next week, we're so excited because we have Tommy Dewey coming back in, who plays Alex. We didn't scare him off too bad the first time.
No.
Good thing.
So he's back in. He'll be talking the finale. We're going to be here at 3 p.m., 3 to 4 instead of our usual time. So make sure you tune in for that. If you have any questions for Tommy, tweet at any of us. Make sure to like us on YouTube. Make us subscribe. Everything. Comment. We love to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
I was your host, Abby Vega. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at _Abby Vega.
Hey guys, I'm Renee Ariel, and you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Renee Ariel.
Zach Kelch here. Everyone have a good night. You can find me at that name on social media platforms.
Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to tune in next week for the finale.
Woo!
Woo!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.